Hi ladies! Welcome to my channel. I'm Gia and I help female founders in all facets of being an entrepreneur, such as marketing and productivity hacks, hormone health, and fashion and beauty. So if you identify as a female and you're a founder of a business, feel free to subscribe now and also sign up now to the link in the description to get free monthly content ideas to level up your online presence. This week has been such a killer week as I've been leveling up my self-care because I desperately need it. How else am I going to run a business if I don't take care of myself? It's been a year since I've gotten this, but my lip injections of Juvederm are all topped up now. One syringe. I got an IPL photofacial for the very first time to get rid of my hyperpigmentation. I got a Botox brow lift, which I'll create another video for, all these things. And now I got my laser tattoo removal today, as in just a couple hours ago. I was dying to get my tattoo removed for years. And just some backstory. My tattoo is a snake. You can't see it now because it's all wrapped up in gauze, but to be specific, it's a viper. It was originally supposed to be a black mamba. That's what I wanted originally, and but the artist was terrible, where his girlfriend was the one who got a picture from the internet of a random snake, not even the snake I wanted, just one that was traceable enough for her. She wasn't even the artist, so she did a shitty trace of whatever it was, slapped it on my arm, and then he did everything else, which wasn't that great. And it took 7 hours to draw, and the whole time the artist was hitting on me. It was exceptionally uncomfortable. He even jumped on me and kissed me, which was uncomfortable. He was a fat vegan, was really heavy, and smelled like cigarettes. Gross, 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 gross. Gross. Girls, say no. I said no, so say no. When you feel it, when you mean it, when you know it in your mind, in your heart, that you don't want to be with someone or not interested, just say no, and they'll back off like this guy did. Whatever, I don't care, I just wanted to go home. Anyway, aside from that, afterward, my friends thought the tattoo was cool, but I used to be an artist, and some even stated that I would have done a better job doing the tattoo myself, which is ironic, and it happens all the time. As they say, good artists have bad tattoos. That's an actual thing. Me and my artist friends will have a lot of people come up to us to ask us to create tattoos for them, but the truth is you got to go to a tattoo artist for that. It's a real thing. Artists get asked a lot, but the tattoo artists are the specialists and know what they can do, so you can't ask them to do someone else's art and replicate that. And it's a collaboration. It's not just I want them to do this, it's going to be perfect, it's going to be great. You have to go with them and get them to practice if you want them to do a certain thing. But this tattoo artist did not do that. He didn't do any research on the tattoo, didn't practice, nothing. So I was 16 years old, I was in a band and thought I was so metal. It was a death metal phase where I always wore black, cut up all my t-shirts, played a lot of death metal guitar, and did this symbol everywhere, and did anything someone said was brutal. And it was such a marker of a statement, screaming metal, that when I joined an indie rock band later, I did not play in the style of metal. I didn't shred, I didn't groove on guitar. But after the shows, people would come up to me and ask, were you a metal guitarist or you're a metal musician? And I would say, yeah, how do you know? And they'd say, because you're tattooed. So that's the identifying marker that I knew that, oh my gosh, this is so specific, it's so niche, because I grew up, I'm now 26, I have my own business and it doesn't sit with me anymore. This image of a huge snake on my arm with frilly floral dresses and cute purses, and I like to wear a lot of bright colors, not today because today I just want to be comfortable for this tattoo thing, and it doesn't match and feels out of place, this tattoo. So also the words of Kim Kardashian, why would you put sorry, I don't want to botch this. Why would you put stickers on a Bentley? Sometimes I just want to blend in and not be seen or criticized, and don't want any attention when I'm running errands, going to the grocery store, and a guy will come up to me who says he knows stuff about tattoos and start a conversation where I'm just I just want to pick up some bananas. But there's a lot of reasons why I want to get rid of this tattoo. It's not just me anymore. It's also that I'm not committed to the idea. Having a tattoo is a lot of commitment, and I don't plan on getting any more. And when I have kids, I don't want them to ask why'd you get this tattoo and it's really bad, and it's I don't want them to worry about it. I just want them to feel free that they can do whatever they want with their life. They have the option if they want, but I will be a living story that says tattoos aren't all that great. Maybe for me it wasn't, but there's definitely a stigma that comes with tattoos, which is why I go out of my way to open doors for random strangers, especially the older generation, and I'm extra polite to them to show that not all people with tattoos are bad. Though the stigma is changing, I still don't want to be any part of it and just appreciate my body the way it is. So why did it take me so long to get it removed? Just a little bit about this, but I am now a non-believer but grew up in a religious background, and in my religion we weren't allowed to have tattoos. I dated a guy in this same religion And on our second date, he gave me a business card to a doctor who removes tattoos, and he said, "It's $5,000 to remove your tattoo. You should go remove it." I was so turned off because I was 19 years old. It didn't bother me at the time. And I really liked my tattoo. It was like 3 years later from having it only. And all I thought was, in my head, I didn't say this out loud, if you want it gone, you give me the $5,000 to remove it. And I didn't say that, of course, but I just stopped dating him. So first lesson, don't date someone who doesn't accept everything about you. Second lesson, I thought the tattoo was so expensive to remove and I couldn't afford it. So I found LaserAway, and how I found them was I did a ton of research thanks to Google. The number one thing I was worried about when searching for tattoo removal was the results. The best results where it looked like nothing was there before, like it never existed. And if I could replicate that idea of making the tattoo look like it was never there, then I have reached my goal. So the place I found that didn't break the bank and had some serious social proof of results was LaserAway. I researched pricing extensively on the internet to places up to 40 miles away from me. I live in Los Angeles, so I was willing to do the hour, sometimes 2-hour drive to Orange County, depending on traffic, but everything was exorbitantly expensive and didn't have much social proof on the internet. Like it was like a few $100s per session that I couldn't afford, and like the time to drive, the time that I'm paying it with. And another thing was LaserAway has their own machine that they invented, they patented for tattoo removal, which I think is awesome that they're the ones taking the initiative. They're the ones who are making strides in this field, so they must know a bit more about these other places that are just by machines. But I'm not the expert on that, but I just know what they've told me and what I've done my research on based on what it says on the internet. Google SERPs, search engine results pages, aren't necessarily all going to be correct. Like if you Google something, it doesn't mean it's right. It just means someone on the internet posted it, and then that was the first thing to come up because their indexing was great and their SEO was great. So the onboarding process with LaserAway was really, really easy. When I went on their website, I gave them my info, inquired for a consultation based on the laser tattoo removal. Within a minute, I received a text of my scheduled consultation that was scheduled for the next day. It was for a Zoom call originally, but when pressing the link the next day, they texted me and said it would be a phone call instead, which is fine. And the person I spoke with walked me through everything carefully. She held my hand, walked me through it on the phone, and she had me hop on my computer while we were talking and registered me online. Literally, if I said something didn't work for me, or like if I was like, this is not working, or this is not what I want it to be, she would give me a new link and say, we got another alternative for you, which I love. I think fantastic. It's always fantastic to have options. And I also paid online before visiting. They are also apparently working on an app, which is really cool because I love like Brilliant Distinctions turned into Ali, like Allergan or whatever. Ali owns them now. And so I love that they just have an app where I don't have to like go on the website or use their iPad at their facility to log into something to get points or whatever it is. But I got the beta version of the app on my desktop because they're just creating it now. And I think they may have launched it, I'm not sure. But it was the portal she signed me into, which was really cool. It was really smooth. And you could see that they were starting it out, and it was like really simple looking. But the day of the removal was easy peasy. And I love the fact that the onboarding process was so smooth. So I didn't have to worry about getting cash, going to the ATM, or like futzing around with my purse and digging through my wallet. The office was clean and fabulous. The room had a TV that she put me in. After being in the lobby, she put me in the room. It had a TV with the show House on in the background. The receptionist applied numbing cream to my arm with plastic wrap over it afterward. I waited 30 minutes for it to settle. I actually worked at a plastic surgery center before and had the same job as her, so I know exactly what she's going through. And like every time I see like other receptionists, I really respect them. So and I'm like extra polite because they have a stressful job sometimes, but they could only do the top part of my tattoo because it was so traumatic to the area of the body that my whole arm would have swollen, and that's not good. I will be going back in 3 days to continue the rest of my session, but for the underside of my forearm. So they did this part only. They numbed this part. They lasered this part, but this part they didn't. And they will do this part on Friday. So here are the key facts that you should know. One, it will hurt. Even with the numbing cream, it was uncomfortable. I had to open my email in my phone just to distract my brain, like actively like trying to distract my brain, because I was like, holy hell, this is another level. And I don't like pain. I don't think anybody does. But like I can handle, like I used to play bloody knuckles with my brother and our cousins that were guys, and I was like, I tried to toughen myself up, but she was very good about keeping the cold air while lasering the tattoo itself, which is really awesome. And she said that the technician said that I was really good about it, but that cold air helps drastically. I do not I have a higher tolerance on my body as compared to my face, where eyebrow tattooing was painful 2 times out of 3. It hurts, but definitely is worth it 100%, doing both the tattoo laser removal and the tattooed eyebrows. But like getting touch-ups multiple times. And number 2, it takes less than 5 minutes to actually do the laser, but it was a long 5 minutes because my tattoo is huge and it was painful. My tattoo is about 22 inches. Number 3, every session they do is stronger and stronger each time because they're working through the surface layers and getting to the deeper and deeper ones. So this very first session was the very surface layer, and then they'll do stronger later for the deeper layers of the tattoo and skin. Number 4, bright colors are harder to remove. Black is ideal to remove and can be eventually invisible. It's sort of like laser hair removal, where they say the ideal tone combination would be lighter skin with dark hair, because the sensor can spot it easier. Where if you have like light skin and light hair, there's a different machine they use for that, for laser hair removal. So I'm guessing this is a similar type of technology. But I know that I have a little IPL laser hair removal machine for my home, just to do like little touches up here and there, like for my mustache. I got like, my mustache I don't have a lot of hair, but I have like a couple things that I don't want to keep plucking forever. So like every few months I'll do beep. So I did it on my arm where my tattoo was, because my sessions for my legs are completely done. I did it for my legs, and I did it for my mustache too, and armpits, just in case. So I did it on my tattoo area once, and it really hurt. Like it was more significantly painful than it was on a regular bare part with no tattoo, to remove the hair for that little that IPL laser hair removal machine. So be careful. Make sure you consult with them carefully first. Number 5, I have to come back in 12 weeks. So what I mean by this is, every 12 weeks I have a new session, and I'm going to do 10 sessions of tattoo laser hair removal. And the first 6 weeks, I'm guessing, are for the wound to heal, for that cycle of skin to develop. Then the second one is to get the latter 6 weeks for the skin cells to properly develop in their cycle again. But I think the first part is definitely for the wound healing. And then my technician said to take it slow. I think it's because there's a lot of dense ink on my tattoo, and my tattoo is really big. Number 6, keep the area of whatever tattoo, or keep the tattoo area that you had lasered elevated. So they say that if your tattoo is below your waist, it's a bit difficult. So like if it's on your leg, you have to raise your leg and like raise your leg for as long as you're working, or whatever, for the predominant amount of your day. Number 7, I cannot speak today. You can't work out for 2 days or else it will scar. So the technician showed me her tattoo. She had this little tattoo on her wrist, and it was really, really dark, she said, as it wasn't dark when I saw it. But I could see it on her wrist, and she said she had 4 sessions, and it was like almost gone. Like she did a really good job. Like 4 sessions of a really dark tattoo. I'm excited. I can't wait till my next 48 weeks are up. I cannot wait for this tattoo to be gone, and my life, I'll feel like a new person. But it's scars. So like I saw her tattoo and it was a legit scar, and at LaserAway they do not remove scars, at least not yet. But I'm bummed that I can't work out for 2 days because I just started this new workout regime that I'm really excited about, and aftercare is always just as important as the procedure itself. So as someone who's had multiple surgeries, this is really important to note. Number 8, you will need to apply a generous layer of Vaseline or hydrocortisone afterward. And I mean a 1/4 of an inch thick. Like, she piled it on and was like, she said, be generous. And I understood that, but I made a beeline for CVS after the visit and got 2 packs of gauze and Vaseline. And she said to apply it once a day, and I asked her how many, like, I was asking her to get specific. I was like, how many times a day can I apply it? When can I shower? Like, I asked her because I was like, I got questions. I want to take care of this right. I want to do this right. 110%. That's who I am. I don't half-ass things. So apply it once a day. Number 9, it's basically an open wound, so you have to treat it carefully as such. Don't shower for 2 days, or at least don't wash that area for 2 days. Don't get it wet. Number 10, most of the tattoo's pigment disappears right before your eyes, but will return in an hour or so. It was drastically lighter and made a huge difference. So just as a little bit of, just as a bonus, number 11, there is, if you have color in your tattoo, like I have red, so I don't know if you can see, this is purple, and then there's like, oh, you can't see, if I lift the gauze, there's like a tongue, and the snake's tongue is red. Red is like, red, it's possible that the red will never leave your skin, the pigment. So like if I go out somewhere and have to wear like beautiful lace gloves, like to like a concert, or like, I don't know, Royal Albert Hall or something, or just like put some makeup on it, like a little concealer. But there are certain colors, bright colors, they haven't really mastered the technology yet, I don't feel like, but when that day comes, I'll be the first one there, and I'll be the most excited. So next things next, how much does it cost? The cost. When doing my market research online on multiple locations in the area that dealt with laser tattoo removal, it seemed to me that the cost was based on the size of the tattoo usually. So it's typically done by square inches, and my tattoo wraps around my arm. How I measured it was by grabbing some string, wrapping it around the tattoo lengthwise, then measuring that string with the measuring tape afterwards. Since I couldn't find my fabric measuring tape, I don't know where I think it's in my other place. But it came to about 22 inches, which is the largest average rate on which the largest average rate to charge for tattoo removal was about 15 inches on Groupon. So I have to be honest, I think it was about 2,100 total to remove my tattoo as a quote, but there was a lot that went into the pricing. So like it might be different for you, especially for the size, especially for how many sessions you need, especially for how dark it is. Like I got gray wash tattoo, and people say, oh, it looks faded. It's like, it's not faded, it's just gray wash, and the tattoo was horrible. The artist was terrible. And so was the tattoo. So don't just say like, oh, it's about this much when I go into my tattoo session. It's like, no, that's how much mine costs. It might be different for yours. So, but for some reason, when I originally inquired, she said it was around 1K, like 1,000 something per session, like 1,200 or something like that, 1,100. I don't remember, but it's about $2,000, 2,100 or so for all of the sessions. So for all those 10 sessions, the total was 2,100 or something. I have to be honest, I don't completely remember. I just remember that it was like $2,000, just a little bit over, and it's paid for, so I'm not worried. But this 10 sessions is based on the guarantee that it's going to be completely removed. I mean, aside from the red, aside from the bright colors, it looks like it's going to be completely removed. I saw pictures online where tattoos were completely removed, and they were beautiful. It was a glorious day when I saw those results. I'll post them here. These are other people's, not mine, but this is my vision board right now. So my goal magic board, but I absolutely pounced on the deal for the $2,000, 2,000 some odd dollars for the 10 total sessions, because why would I not? It would be stupid not to. And the lady I was on the phone with said she ended up paying $32,000 for her tattoo removal sessions because she got them individually, which is insane. So get the special if you can. So I paid a down payment of $300 and then monthly $76 for 18 months, but I plan to pay it off much faster because I don't like having debt. As for more aftercare, a little bit of notes. When I was driving home, just as an observation, it was uncomfortable to make a turn on the steering wheel and it was feeling tingly. And it still feels tingly now a couple hours later as I filmed this, but just to be sure to listen to your body. Don't overexert that area that you got lasered. It's not worth it to overlook your aftercare because you're paying so much for this life-changing procedure and want it to last. Take care of your body properly and listen to what the expert has to say when it comes to removing your tattoo. Their words are golden at this stage, especially you're not the expert, so like, why do you know better and why would you do something different? Every tattoo is different, and I'm just excited to have started this process. Subscribe now to stay updated on my next session, and in real time, I will see you later with more progress on my laser tattoo removal.